Credit card company executives resign in the fallout of a massive information leak. The companies promise compensation. A Korean trade official has been abducted in Tripoli. Seoul has issued a travel ban for Libya. And even though young pop stars dominate the scene, there's no early retirement for these middle-aged singers. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Tuesday, January 21st. I'm Luke Clary. 3 executives of 3 credit card companies involved in a massive information leak have tendered their resignations. The companies will compensate victims for financial and emotional damages.
The executive officers of KB Gukmin, Lotte, and NH Nonghyup Cards apologized yesterday to the public and all stepped down. Nonghyup Bank Card Division Chief Son Kyung-ik resigned voluntarily, and all executive officers of KB Gukmin Card, KB Gukmin Bank, and Lotte Card have tendered their resignations. The 3 card companies reported that 82.45 million people were affected by the unprecedented information leak. Up to 18 items of information of around 43.2 million Gukmin card holders were exposed, and around 20 million Lotte and Nonghyup card holders had their personal information leaked. Nonetheless, the 3 card companies claimed that there would be no secondary damage and that all the leaked information had been recovered during the investigation. They announced that if the customers' information have been misused and caused them financial loss, they would be compensated and are also considering offering mental retribution. The card companies began yesterday in notifying individuals over the extent of damage through emails and ordinary mail services. The customers were advised to be alert for scammers passing off as card companies and reminded them that no additional personal information, like passwords, would be asked during the notification process.
Migratory birds were found dead in a reservoir near North Jeolla Province duck farms, contaminated by avian influenza. The birds tested positive for a highly pathogenic strain of bird flu, putting quarantine authorities on high alert.
The Agriculture Ministry says that the highly pathogenic H5N8 strain of avian influenza has been detected in migratory birds that were found dead near Dongrim Reservoir in North Jeolla Province. It's the same strain as the virus that contaminated 3 poultry farms in the same province. Quarantine experts express concerns that the new virus can be more contagious and deadly than any of the other strains that had affected the nation's poultry farms in the past, noting the death of 100 wild birds. They argued that the virus must be much stronger since birds in the wild have stronger immunity than those that are farmed. Korean quarantine authorities are on alert as the H5N8 virus's killing of migratory birds is the world's first case to be reported.
이 H5N8 바이러스는 아직 세계적으로 가금류나 철새에서 폐사를 집단적으로 일으켰다는 보고가 전혀 없습니다.
There have been no reports about human infections by the H5N8 type virus. It means that the chance for bird-to-human transmission is not high. However, some experts warn that it's too early for people to put their guard down since the strain can mutate into new forms.
The chief of the Korea Trade Investment Agency's Libya unit has been kidnapped in Tripoli. This is the first such abduction of a South Korean in Libya, and authorities are still trying to learn why he was taken.
The head of the Libya unit of the Korea Trade Investment Promotion Agency, Han Seok-woo, was kidnapped by armed men in Tripoli on Sunday. He was returning home from his office at the time, as he lives a half-hour drive away from the office. 10 minutes after he left his office, 4 unidentified armed men cut off his car and abducted him. His driver and his car were left on the scene. The Korean government says it is working hard for the safe release of the Kotra official by contacting both the Libyan government and the militia forces.
하루속히 기다리고 있는 가족들의 품으로 돌아올 수 있도록 모든 노력을 다해야 될 것으로 봅니다.
In order to handle the situation, Kotra has set up an emergency task force, and 2 have been dispatched with support from Korea's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Libyan government. Some 550 Korean people live in Libya. 10 cases of armed robbery against them were reported last year. Han began working in the Libya unit in July 2012. His family resides in Malta. Due to the situation, the Foreign Ministry in Seoul issued a travel ban for the African country.
President Park Geun-hye met with her Swiss counterpart Didier Burkhalter in a bilateral summit. The two leaders agreed to form a stronger partnership in vocational training and in science and technology.
President Park Geun-hye and Swiss President Didier Burkhalter agreed that the two countries are solid partners in the pursuit of a creative economy. The two leaders agreed to strengthen cooperation in the fields of education, science, and technology. The two countries signed a memorandum of understanding to cooperate in nurturing talented workers and agreed to promote bilateral exchange programs for graduates of vocational schools so that they can improve their technical expertise. A joint industrial and technological committee comprised of the two countries' ministries overseeing relevant fields will be launched. More collaborative studies between industry and academia will also be conducted. President Park asked for the participation by Swiss financial firms to further energize the Korean financial sector. Switzerland expressed its interest in continuing talks on the matter. A social security agreement will exempt the premium payments of 4 social insurance programs for the employees of the firms doing business in each other's country. The two sides also agreed to work closely to denuclearize North Korea and maintain peace on the Korean peninsula.
Mais le fait que la Suisse est toujours prête à mettre à disposition ses bons offices, cela devait être souhaité et souhaitable pour la sécurité et la stabilité de la région coréenne.
After visiting vocational schools in Switzerland, President Park left for Davos to attend the World Economic Forum.
North Korea has finally sent in its RSVP for the 2014 Asian Games in Incheon, South Korea, scheduled for mid-September.
The 2014 Asian Games will open in Incheon on September 19th. North Korea's Korean Central News Agency reported that the regime's men and women's football teams would participate. This is the first time that the regime has indicated that it will take part in the upcoming Asian Games. However, the North Korean news agency did not say whether the country would compete in any other events. The Olympic Council of Asia and the Incheon Asian Games Organizing Committee have asked North Korea to join the Games, but Pyongyang has still yet to make an official notification over its position. President Kim Young-soo of the Incheon Asian Games Organizing Committee said in a press briefing earlier this year that the plans are being made on the assumption that North Korea will participate. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un provided full support for sporting events ever since he rose to power to make the regime a sports powerhouse. The Stalinist state showed initiative in using sports as a way to thaw inter-Korean relations. It allowed South Korean weightlifters to compete in the competition hosted in Pyongyang last year, and also for the South Korean flag to be raised and the national anthem to be played. Some experts believe that North Korea may be using its presence at the Incheon Asian Games as a leverage to improve inter-Korean ties.
Amid the prolonged economic slump, the labor market remains tight. Even lawyers face stiff competition to land a job. Many recent grads from the Judicial Research and Training Institute are still on the job hunt.
786 people graduated from the Judicial Research and Training Institute this year. Of them, some are scheduled to serve in uniform for their mandatory military service. Only 46.8% of the remaining 607 graduates have landed jobs. Since 2012, the employment rate of the Institute's graduates have been lower than 50% for 3 years in a row. The graduates who landed jobs also had experienced difficulties before they were hired. Many of the Judiciary Institute's graduates become lawyers. But the market for lawyers is becoming tight. There were more than 10,000 lawyers in Seoul as of late last year. That's a surge from the 7,000 recorded in 2010. Since only the supply of lawyers has jumped despite a lack of growth in demand for their expertise, many lawyers are now worrying about their career's future.
수업을 했었는데 지금은 가끔 가다 보면은 경제적 생활이 어려워서 이런 사유도 있습니다. 그만큼 상황은 좀 달갑지 않은 상황이라는 거죠.
Some law firms plan on holding consumers class action suits or offer huge discounts on legal fees. Lawyers are engaging in cutthroat competition to create new markets and to stay afloat.
You won't find many middle-aged singers on TV. It's the youthful idol stars who dominate the scene. But that doesn't mean early retirement. Many middle-aged singers are still active.
Singer-songwriter Yoon Jong-shin, who debuted 25 years ago, is writing a new song. He checks the song code and records the song using a smartphone app. This new style of songwriting is a product of the fast-paced digital age. It's also more cost-effective.
역작을 내기 위해서 몇 년을 투자하는 것보다는 꾸준히 음악적 노력을 하고 발표하자라는 방법을 택한 거죠.
Yoon has been releasing 1 or 2 new songs every month over the past 4 years using the digital format. All 3,000 copies of his album containing his new songs were sold out. Singer Wax, who has 17 years of experience, has made a comeback recently with a new song. She says her secret lies in her continuous efforts to stay active as a singer.
음악을 놓지 않고 꾸준히 할 수 있다는 거가 굉장히 감사하고요. 그 마음을 놓지 않아서 계속 하고 있는 거 아닐까.
Middle-aged singers are keeping their presence in the K-pop scene either by adopting the latest techniques or just by faithfully doing their jobs.
Damyang in South Jeolla Province is known for its bamboo forests that stay green all winter long. These forests and the sumptuous spreads of the province entice winter travelers southbound. This is Chungnok-won, a bamboo park created by the county government of Damyang. A 2.2-kilometer trekking course has been divided into 8 different segments. Each path has its own theme, making the stroll even more delightful. Since a new year has begun, let's walk along the way of good luck.
대나무는 나올 때부터 너는 층순이, 너는 홀쭉이가 정해져 있어요. 굵기가 정해져서 나와요.
There are even tour guides who tell interesting stories about bamboo trees. Being in a bamboo forest supposedly clears the head because the bamboo trees emit negatively charged molecules called avian.
대나무가 또 이렇게 음이온이 나온다는 것도 알게 되고 아이들하고 오니까 또 살림욕도 하고 되게 좋은 것 같아요.
Bamboo trees may look alike, but at a closer range, you can see they vary slightly in color and shape. Such subtle differences make bamboo trees more intriguing. The trees grow amazingly fast, up to 1 meter a day. The stems are segmented at a regular interval and grow in columns rather than tapering off at the end. Another appeal of the bamboo forest is the sound of bamboo leaves rustling in the wind. Being in a bamboo forest puts your mind at ease.
마음이 확 뛰어서 날아갈 것 같아.
There is a small house at the end of the way of good fortune. What goes on in there?
담양을 상징하는 부채에다가 서화를 표현하는 것을 많이 하죠. 마음에 두고 있는 좋은 글이나 특별히 갖고 싶은 어떤 그림이 있다면은 들어오시면 가능하겠어요.
Visitors can learn about the history of bamboo at the Bamboo Museum. Local bamboo products struggled with the influx of cheap imports, but here you can see the intricately crafted bamboo items, such as vases, purses, and traditional craftworks. Visitors can even take part in a bamboo handicraft program taught by a master.
과거에 우리 조상들이 이주 때부터 대나무가 담양에 이렇게 많이 나잖아요. 그래서 대나무를 활용을 해가지고 생활용품이라든가 여러 가지 제품들을 만들기 시작을 했죠.
Shall we take a look at how the master creates a bamboo flute? This young student attempts to make a flute with the help of the master. For his efforts, the boy is given a flute with his own name etched on it. It's not easy replicating the clear, pleasant sound of a bamboo tree from a flute.
재미있었고 연습 많이 해서 더 잘 불게 될 거예요, 지금보다.
Now that the visitors are done with physical activities, they're rewarded with delicious bamboo-flavored eats. The first course is assorted vegetables and meats cooked inside a bamboo stalk for an hour. It seems to take forever for a couple of strapping young men to take the 6-meter bamboo container out of the oven. The bamboo stalk contains short ribs, eels, abalones, and all sorts of delicious food ingredients. It's a sumptuous feast for outsiders, but nothing extraordinary in the southern region. How do they like the rice cooked in the bamboo stem?
대향이 확 나고요. 아주 음식에서 청량감이 느껴져요. 신선한.
A trip to Damyang in South Jeolla Province can be healthful and romantic. How about taking a winter trip to the bamboo forest in Damyang to refresh your body and mind? Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. We'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Have a great day.